So as we mentioned, the Clippers season is over. We had so much hope for them. They had one job to do, and that was prevent OKC from getting another lottery pick, and they failed. And the question is, what is next for the Clippers in y'all mind?
Well, I think first of all, they got to figure out the Kawhi situation. They got to figure out what's going to go on with that. Are we trading them? What's going to happen with that? And then they also kind of just got to sit up and pray that Pacers pick convert in their favor. That's one thing that they are banking on this offseason because they definitely don't have their own pick.
Do you think one affects the other? If that Pacer pick does convey, do you feel like trading Kawhi Leonard makes more sense for the organization?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I just don't think you want to bring in a young guy and try to develop him next to a guy like Kawhi who wants to compete for championships. I always find it hard to balance that timeline of developing a young rookie while also competing for championships. Because there's going to be times where the coach is probably, Ty Lue at least, probably be like, I don't have to play him right now. I'd rather play my vets to win this game.
This might sound like a stupid question. Do you feel like that's number one thing on Kawhi's priority list to compete for championships?
Yeah. At this point of his career, especially with how injuries are and he knows this is like one of his healthiest seasons, he definitely knows that I have to capitalize on this right now. At least if I was Kawhi, that's how I would feel.
I'm not sure. I'm really not sure either.
Yeah, I think that was like a Kawhi-specific question.
Because I think
it feels like he just wants to be at home more than anything as the number one priority.
But a place like Golden State would still keep you
Close
in some
enough.
home because he's a San Diego guy. So, I mean, obviously there's no San Diego team in the NBA, but just staying in that
Shout out to the Surf.
proximity, I think it'd allow him to be comfortable. You know, it ain't like he'll be traded. Or it ain't like he's a guy that can't control his own destiny and end up in like Chicago or somewhere far on the East Coast away from the proximity of home. The thing about the pick, in theory, I think it would go hand in hand. But in this situation, I don't think so because the Pacers pick is protected 1 through 4. So the Clippers know A.J. DeBonta or one of those guys are not going to end up on their team in any way. So now if you're bringing in a 6th pick that I believe in this draft would bring you like a guard,
Yeah.
I don't think that it would matter too much in that realm. And I think if I'm the Clippers, it wouldn't affect anything that I'm doing either.
I did one roll. It conveyed 5th pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the 5th pick, yeah, you would be the first to take whatever supreme guard because we're probably guesstimating that AJ, Peterson, Boozer, and Wilson in some form or fashion are the 4 picks that are gone. And now you are at 5, get to choose from Acuff, Flemings, Michael Brown, whatever guard that you think is the best or your favorite, because this is a conversation that everybody has a different answer to. You would have the first pickings of that.
Is it a trade-out scenario?
What they try to
Like,
trade the pick?
I'm not even sure. I'm just thinking, like, if it does convey to 5, if we want to keep Kawhi Leonard and Darius Garland.
I think they have to explore all bases. They have to try to figure out
I think
everything.
it is. To answer the question, like,
To trade it
head
away?
on, yes. No, not to trade it. He asked, could it be? Because it's the 5th pick and so many different people, like so many different guards, there could be a team that ends up at 8 or 7 that is like, damn, we really wanted Michael Brown. You could trade back with them or find a scenario where a team would say, yeah, we like, hypothetically, where do the Bucks picks go? Where did that pick go for the Bucks in that?
For the Bucks in that one go round.
If the Bucks knew that they were going
number
to
10.
commit to Giannis Antetokounmpo, and yeah, I don't know if the Clippers wanted Miles Turner. You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. Because if you kind of look at what the Clippers have done, they kind of have went into first they went younger. I mean, they had one of the old like a bunch of dinosaurs on their team. But instead of kind of just complete rebuild or like shipping everybody off, they kind of seem like they retooled. I mean, they traded James Harden for a guy that's like 26, around that type of age. So it feels like they still want to compete. Knowing Steve Ballmer, he still wants to compete. So I wouldn't be surprised if they try to remain as competitive as possible.
Yeah, and they also might look at it and say the second half of the season is who we really are. Like, we started off so badly that we were so behind the 8 ball that there's no way we start off that badly next season. So we come into next season and run it back. We one of the top teams in the West. We were one of the top teams in the West the second half of the season.
As long as 2 people's in the locker room, Kawhi Leonard and Ty Lue, they're not going to be in a different direction.
Yeah.
I don't know if Ty Lue is going to coach a team that is rebuilding.
Yeah, they
I
don't really
think
even
so.
have tradable money. Kawhi's at 50, Darius Garland at 42, John Collins is expiring. Benedict Mathurin, potentially it's a sign and trade opportunity, I guess, if you're going to package those two together. But Darius Jones Jr. is only at 10. Ijax is at 7. Chris Dunn is at 5. But for whatever reason, it's italicized, which means that it's not fully guaranteed. So they don't even have we package a 5th pick in this, and now we go get a
So
star.
do they have money in the offseason?
I don't.
No, they're a team that's
Think so,
prepping
no.
for 2027.
Yeah, no,
remember?
2027,
Oh, yeah.
Darius Garland is the only guy that's under contract. Even Kawhi Leonard's going to be out of it. So, big decisions for the Clippers, and I could definitely see it going either way.